Good evening, family. Marquise Mayo here for the I'm Just Saying video blog. Tonight, we'll be posting a video for the education system in Norristown. It's actually going to be a video series. It's going to be probably about 4 or 5 videos going over a wide range of topics. Tonight, the topic is going to be about just statistics. I'm just throwing some numbers out there that I've found and doing some research, and that's for all you stat heads out there who, I'm going to put the websites below the video for you guys to check it out for yourself to, see that I'm not just pulling these numbers out of thin air. These numbers are rankings as far as Norristown ranks in the state, not the school district and the high school. There's other numbers here. For example, Norristown has 6,972 students total. Now these numbers, I just want to let you know, these numbers are based off of 2014 reporting. They don't have 2015 yet. And I wasn't able to find, 2015, so I believe as of right now, 2014 numbers are the most recent numbers they have. The graduation rate is 78%, which as compared to the state average is 88%. 78% graduation average. The state of Pennsylvania is 88%, so Norristown is falling a little short there. As I said, it was 6,972 students in Norristown School District as a whole, whereas the average in the state for a school district is 1,682. So Norristown, by comparison, is a large school district. We have 11 schools in our district, and the state average is 3. So you're looking at almost 4 times the schools in Norristown than the state average. Some other numbers that, was interesting to me was I was able to find that the revenue Norristown had in 2014 was $119 million. That was their revenue for that year. The state average is $21 million. So I found that to be interesting. The spending in Norristown was $114 million, and the spending average for the state was $20 million. The revenue for that worked out to be, the revenue per student was $17,630. The state average is $12,476, and the spending per student is $16,906, and the state average is $11,944. Now, obviously, when you have $119 million revenue and $114 million in spending, and you have almost 7,000 students, you're going to spend more per student. I graduated in 2001. I've been out of the school district for a long time. I didn't know that much is being spent on the students now. Me personally, I don't know. I think that's based on, you have salaries in there, you have operating costs for the schools and everything. So I think all of that factors in there. I know that teachers bring in their own supplies and stuff, and, this year is the first time I've seen it caught me off guard, and I didn't even know this was going on, but I had to pay for one of my daughter's books. She's in 3rd grade. So I thought that was, crazy. I haven't paid for books since I was in college, so to have to pay for a 3rd grader's book, I thought was crazy, where, we got those same kind of books for free. But, that's for another video. We'll get into stuff like that. Norristown as a district, based on test scores. Now, when I say test scores, I'm referring to the PSSAs and the Keystone exams, which is something else I will get into in the future video as far as standardized tests. They rank 401st, the district, out of 459 public public school districts, and the high school ranks 469th out of 580 public high schools. Obviously, that's at the bottom end of the list, and like I said, it's based on the scores from those tests. And obviously, if the scores were higher, Norristown would rank higher on the list. The question then is what can be done to increase the scores on those tests. Now, as I said, we'll get into standardized tests in one of the later videos in the series. Another number that caught my eye and I thought was a little harsh to see is that for the high school, 61.64% of the students are economically disadvantaged, and district-wide, 73.19%. So it's a vast majority of the students in the district that are economically disadvantaged. And you ask, like, what does that mean? What that means is that there is a correlation between your socioeconomic status and your education. Now, I'm not going to say that, if you're poor, you're going to do bad in school, or if you're rich, you're going to do good in school. It doesn't, that's just too generalist. It's too broad. It doesn't work out that way. There are kids from affluent backgrounds that don't do great in school, and then there's kids from poorer backgrounds who excel in school. But one thing that you can see for yourselves and look up the data is that, kids in those rough socioeconomic situations, whether it's, the parents not having jobs or having low-paying jobs, or, single parent homes with a one parent, even though they may be working 2-3 jobs, still isn't making a lot of money, or, things of that nature. Kids in that situation find it a tougher road to go when it comes to their education. And we're going to get into that in actually the next video, the second video in the series. I want to talk about the cultural impact and how that affects students. As of 2014, there were 128 teachers at the high school, which that number has declined 8% over the previous 5 years. The high school alone has 1,809 students. Roosevelt has had 125. Like I said, these are 2014 numbers. Minority enrollment, 68%, where African American students are the majority. The state average is 29% for minority enrollment. Now, I did a video not too long ago, one of my first videos about Norristown, and the Caucasian population in Norristown outweighed the African American population. As a matter of fact, I have the numbers, which is weird that it works out the way that it works out. There's 35.4% Caucasians in Norristown. This is based on 2012 numbers, and 31.7% African American. Now, if you go and you look at the schools, like I said, 68% majority, 68% minority enrollment, and the majority is African American. Norristown High, you have 45% black, 32% white, 18% Hispanic. Now, state average is 71% white, 16% black, and 8% Hispanic. So, Norristown, being as though it's a small, it's still a small town on the grand, scheme of things, still that it could be a smaller minority presence in the town as a whole, but the schools, as you see, the minority enrollment is 68%. So, that's just some of the numbers that I've found, and want you guys to take in and then kind of chew over. Like I said, I'll put the websites at the bottom of the video for you guys to check out the numbers yourself and then compare. And the next video, as I said, is going to be about cultural issues and how that impacts, both positive and negatively, how that impacts students and their ability to achieve what they want to achieve in the education system, especially here in Norristown. So thank you guys for watching. You guys get some sleep, and I'll catch up with you later on. Take it easy.